All right, welcome to another episode of the Fair Chase podcast. I started the episode basically picking my nose. Sorry for that. For those of you watching on YouTube, I've got Dave Thomas here and James Notaboom. Notaboom?
Note boom. Close enough. Pronounce it multiple ways.
You know, Notaboom, isn't that more like, I feel like if we, are you Dutch?
Yeah, that's what my great my great aunt tells me. It's a note of boom.
That's how I was raised.
Yeah.
I'm Dutch. Jared's Gortsuma. I'm a Janstra. Do you know what your name means?
Not at all.
No? Do you know what your name means?
Unfortunately,
You do. What is it?
nut tree.
Yes, that's a pretty good nickname.
Yeah,
You shouldn't have told us that one.
keep it up. I'll never hear the end of that now.
I love it. Nut tree over
Well,
here.
Mr. Nuttree.
Now that we got that out of the way. Well, I mean, yeah. That's, there are worse names.
It makes sense.
Believe it or not, one of my Marines back when I was stationed in Okinawa, his last name was Stone Rock.
Ooh, that's pretty bad. That's bad, man.
Yeah,
If like a
Sounds
first
like
name
a-
was
that's-
Jack Stone Rock.
sounds like a linebacker or something.
No,
Yeah.
it was Lauren Stone Rock,
and
and he was probably one of the dumbest people I'd ever met.
hopefully he's
so
not
his
listening.
last, so his
I
last
guess I
name
went the other way.
right on par.
Dumb as a rock. That's hilarious. Well, thanks for hopping on, guys. So just before we're going to dive into a lot of things, but just for people who are listening, Bowhunter, you guys are bow hunters, right?
Right.
You guys basically dedicate your time to bow hunting in many ways, right?
For the most part.
I would say bow hunt, yeah, like Bowhunter Planet, like this is a thing. You guys have been doing this for a while. How long have you been running your channel?
2009.
2009. Good year. Good
Mhm.
year for outdoor media. So yeah, I mean, you guys both started this together, or how did this go?
So I started it with Tim back in 09. Tim and I then did it together for about, I don't know, what year did you come in? Like 14 or 13?
Yeah,
Somewhere
13,
there?
14, yeah.
And then Kevin came in, I think, at 12. So it was something like me, Tim, Kevin came in around 2012. And then Open came around 13 or 14. And that's been it. So we're there's four owners of the website. But Jamie came in and he was working so hard to help us. We had no other choice but to give him ownership because he was kicking butt and taking names.
Yeah, sure.
It was really impressive, honestly.
What's up? We are going to thank a few of these sponsors that help make this beautiful show a reality for all of you. So
Yeah.
here we go. So a big reason, I would say, to why we're so successful and we have so many bucks on the wall is because we use HuntWise. HuntWise is a GPS mapping app that you can download on any phone, any platform. You can look up public land huntings, ORV trails. You can get the weather. They actually have a HuntCast 2.0 that they teamed up with Jeff Sturgis to make. It's awesome. You need to check this thing out. Go to HuntWise, download the app.
I feel like if you go into the woods without optics, it's like going into the woods without pants on. Would you agree with that?
To a point.
To a point. We are huge fans of running binoculars, spotting scopes, and different things when we hunt, even whitetail. I bring binoculars out every time I go. We choose Vortex Optics because they make the best glass in the business. They have an amazing warranty, super clear glass, super helpful people that work there.
Also, if you want to rep some sweet Vortex swag like this warm shirt on a nice fall day, head over to Vortex Wear. Thank you. And use the promo code TFC20 for 20% off your purchase. Saddle game, you need to be in it. If you haven't been in it yet, then you don't know what you're missing.
Yeah.
Trophy Line Tree Sales makes some of the best saddles in the industry. They have 3 different platforms that we use and that are awesome.
I want to make a quick plug for the Wingman with a couple steps. You can take one less step, stick, and it's like a combination of a stick and a platform. I've been exclusively hunting out of it this year, and my mobile setup is so sweet. I'm very proud of it.
Awesome.
I highly recommend
Awesome.
the Wingman
If
system.
you're ready to pull the trigger on that and you want to get with James and do the Wingman, head over to the website and you can save yourself 10% on the purchase. TFC 10 will get you that. I like to think I single-handedly got James to switch to compound again, but I'd probably be a liar and everyone would call me out on that. We shoot prime bows. We think they're awesome. Great accuracy, super shootable.
Made here in Michigan.
Made in Michigan, so we love that. It's hard to complain.
That's where Jared was made. So we
Surprisingly,
like that. Yeah.
welcome. So go check out these prime bows.
We are of a firm belief that the arrow is the lifeblood
Blood
of the
of the
archery
archery
industry.
industry.
We've said it 1,000 times. But in all seriousness, we are huge fans of arrows that are durable, that fly well, and that kind of make up for some of my inaccuracies in the way that I shoot. So we shoot Vector custom arrows.
The hammer.
The hammer.
That's Thor. That's Thor.
They are made in Wisconsin by our buddy Isaac. Great arrows. And if you want to go and get yourself some, have a little bit of a discount, use TFC10 for 10% off. Or call Isaac up and tell him we sent you.
Mm-hmm. You want his phone number? Comment below.
Yep, comment below.
Yeah, it's funny.
Yeah.
So why, so, like for everybody who doesn't know, because I want to get into more the history of what you guys have done so far, but like tell everybody what you do. What is Bowhunter Planet?
So Bowhunter Planet, it basically, it's a community. I mean, we've turned into kind of a media conglomerate of doing media content for outdoor industry companies. Not all of them, but a lot of them. But before that, we were really just straight community, and we still hold to that today. And a lot of hunters will send us their success shots. We'll post them on Instagram. We have a Team BHP. It's like a Patreon system where we have 50, 60 people in there, and it's like an insider group. Then we have TikTok live subscriptions. So those two groups we kind of mend together. They're both paid subscriptions, but they're a lot of fun because we do a lot of internal stuff with those guys, giveaways and discounts and just a lot of cool stuff, and you get their opinion on products, and we give them stuff to play with as well. We've kind of become like this industry testing organization that the industry looks to have quick videos done on their products from a third party. And so over the years of our test lab show, which is kind of what started us off in 2009, I've done all the bow reviews since that point. Me and Jamie and Tim and Kevin all pitched in, and some of our friends that still help us today work on those videos. And right now our focus has kind of shifted a little bit because just the way that the problem with online media has always been, always will be, there's always a shift. So first you had, Facebook was kind of like the 2009-ish time frame. That was so popular, everybody's using it. YouTube was there, but not as big of a deal. So we hopped on the YouTube train, Facebook train, and you guys know how that goes. And now it's TikTok, now it's reels and shorts and smaller videos. It's just, everything changes constantly. But our goal has always been just to stay on top of it, keep helping to build the heritage of archery, because the problem we always saw is that companies, we don't do this for a lot of money. We don't do this for a living. This is something we do because we love to do it. And our biggest thing has always been conserving archery for the future, whether that is a crossbow, traditional bow, a compound bow, air bow, don't care. Our whole thing is if it shoots an arrow, we want to, keep that in people's minds going forward.
Let's keep this controversy free. Let's leave the arrow bow out of it. This is a friendly podcast because there's, no, that's cool. And you guys, it's been interesting watching that evolve. And I'm convinced, and tell me if I'm wrong, that you started a test, kind of section of what you do just to get a bunch of free gear. Like, true or false? Is that is that the reason behind it?
That's actually false. That's actually false. It might seem that way, and I agree that I get a lot of great gear, but I've never actually. It's really interesting because I've never looked at it from that perspective, because I've always just bought whatever I wanted. I never really thought of it like that. I never been in a position where I couldn't afford to buy what I need, so I never thought of it in that sense. But I haven't bought a bow since 2009. So I guess, yes, you're right in some way, but.
Nice, man.
Camp is full.
That's sweet. No, that's cool. And I've watched just over the years a lot of those videos. As you guys were starting out, I started kind of finding you. So it's been fun to watch and see how you've developed. So you guys are just sitting around one day and decided, hey, let's start this social media conglomerate. What was actually the thought behind that?
Yeah, so the beginning of the business is a little bit different. It was Tim and I went to school together. We both went to Central Michigan. Jamie went to Western, so there's always a big fight internally. But
yeah, fire up.
Hey,
and you guys are from the West Side, so yeah, that's right.
I think I'm breaking up.
So anyway, Tim and I were into fish keeping. So you get a saltwater fish tank, you fill it with all this, fish like corals, and we just got into this. Tim had a bio degree in fisheries, so he and I at college, we lived together. We would get fish tanks, all this crap. Well, so I started like trying to make my own fish food. It sounds stupid, I know, but I tried to make my own fish food and sell it. And there was a website called MichiganReefers.com. And at the time you could go on and sell, you could trade fish, buy fish, you could sell the foods, all that stuff. Well, some moderator like told me, oh, you can't sell that. And he like, blocked my stuff. And I got really upset about it. I'm like, really? What the heck? I'm just trying to like try this, see if people, what they think. And I was just real upset about it. And I remember thinking, I'm going to create my own forum. Forget this guy. I'll create a new Michigan Reefers. So I did. We bought Reefer Planet, which now we're going to sell for marijuana purposes. But I bought Reefer.
No, wait, just pause a second, because this has been burning.
It's for sale.
It's for sale. If anybody wants it.
Reefer Planet is for sale.
We own reeferplanet.com. Yes, we haven't done anything with it yet because we haven't figured out how we want to do this. But now that marijuana is becoming legal, all that stuff, we're thinking this could be a gold mine.
I mean, you start in the archery industry and in the reefer industry. That is the natural progression.
So reef keeping is actually called reef keeping. So like Michigan Reefers, Reefer Planet. This is all fisheries. There's nothing to do with marijuana. That's what's funny about it. And anyway. So we started down that path, Tim and I remember going to, was it, it's not Big B Coffee. What was it called before that?
Beaners. It was Beaners.
Beaners.
Yeah, for obvious reasons, they had to change the name.
I went to Beaners and I met up with Tim in Grosse Pointe. I'll never forget it. We sat there and I said, listen, I want to do this website. And I told him, he's like, oh yeah, man, we could do that. It'd be so fun. Let's try it. I said, but I want to do it on bow hunting. And I remember thinking like, because the season was coming and I thought, I almost rather focus on something I like more, which is bow hunting. And Tim wasn't even a hunter. So for him, he's like, nah, whatever, man, I'll support you. We'll do it. Let's just have some fun. So then I created the community and then we went up against things like archery talk. And I'm like, oh man, how are we gonna, this is crazy. And Tim didn't really, even though Tim has a videography background, he never fully understood the power of YouTube at the time and all that stuff. So he was like, no, we just got to do a forum. We're just doing a forum. We don't want to do all these videos and it's stupid. And I'm like, okay. But I ended up doing the videos on purpose, just like on the side. I didn't care. I'm like, whatever. I know this is going to work. So I started focusing on reviewing products I already had. And then I started focusing on getting all my friends engaged. So Brian, Ron, all these guys, they start, hunting, like, let me film your hunts. Let me go out with you and do this. And so that's how it kind of turned into this test lab concept.
Do you have your first video? Do you know what your very first video is? Do you still have it?
Sure do.
What is it?
It's a tree stand. It's like a tree stand video I did in my garage with crap everywhere. My dog is in the film, and we reviewed a tree stand. And it was a terrible review, absolutely terrible. And even watching it now, I just wish I was as skinny as I was then. That's all I really like about the video. But the music's terrible, the audio's terrible, everything's bad. But I'll never forget it because once in a while I rewatch it trying to think if I can splice something out there to use on TikTok and stuff. I'm like, I can't use this. There's nothing salvageable.
I can just picture like this tree stand. It's pretty cool.
Exactly. It was pretty bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, you should have seen me at first. Oof.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's hard.
Remember
man.
like Will Ferrell in Talladega Nights, where he's got his hands, he doesn't know what to say. Yeah, that was me.
Yeah. No, we'll still do stuff like that. We'll like for other groups or whatever we're doing. And I hate it.
He hates being on camera.
I hate it.
Yeah,
I would have thought that would be something I like the dialogue, the one me talking at nothing. That's hard. It's tiring. Jared's much better.
Hi,
at
this
it.
is James.
Hi, no, it's not like that.
I'm in the woods. Great place.
I think it takes some time to learn. Like Jamie started off, had a very hard time, but he got it. And now once in a while he'll come in and he's just money, or he's a little bit like still background. Like I can tell. Sometimes he comes down if it's like he's had caffeine and he's ready to rock, or maybe if he knows the topic better. But if you get him going on the right thing, like he was part of the Switchback Classic video and he was awesome, like tore it up. Like I was like, this is exactly what you need to do every time, But then other times he'll come. Let's see what.
yeah. After
what I say?
I'm checking out the specs real quick, and I'm trying to talk about this thing. I'm like, yeah,
Oh, we've
well,
been there.
that's-
Been there.
looks
We know
good.
so hang on one sec.
What's my line again?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How many?
Oh, yeah.
ATA?
Yeah, that's how Dave got so good at editing, though, is because of me.
That's right. Yeah, you got that. Not just you,
You're,
man. You and
you're
Kevin.
welcome.
He's your muse. Yeah.
No,
That's
once
funny.
you edit, when you edit stuff and learn once I know what I want it to look like, So my template is basically the same now every time. When you watch any of our videos, this past year, those are all kind of the same template, just a different mix here and there, different thing. This is not including like TikToks or Reels. This is specifically like YouTube long videos. That template mentally allows me to know exactly what I need when I'm filming, which makes it a lot faster, a lot easier process. That includes audio, includes, hey, I need a speed test. I need this arrow, this arrow, this arrow, right in a row. Say this right before you fire. Say this right, because it makes it easier on the cuts. It's just fast. And so I've been focused on that. I bought a newer computer this year. It's the new iMac Studio, so it's powerful, and it's allowing me to move the process a little bit faster. Being a one editing team, one editor, that's it, just me. It's almost critical to have that, to have that speed.
I'm there. That's me. I'm the Dave of the group.
Yeah. Yeah. Although I do phone edits. I'll do the reels.
Yeah,
I can do reels. Almost all of our reels. I've been reel guy and I've been doing TikTok. That's right.
TikTok guy.
I was hardcore against TikTok because I never really knew it was on it.
Yeah.
I had a very specific picture of what was on it. So we started doing it, but like, I don't know, it's like it seems like there's a lot of interaction on TikTok.
A lot. It's a ton. I'll tell you guys this right now. This is a tidbit, but we make more money on TikTok than any other social platform. Our business, we make more on that. TikTok pays us more than any other, YouTube or you name it, because the interaction's so much greater. When I go live, there'll be up to 600 people at a time. And then out of those 600, like 10 might live subscribe. It pays you $6 a month, and they come back on, and it's like Twitch. So on Twitch, if you're a gamer, you can just send emotes and private team chat and all this stuff, or team members, whatever you want to call them. I'm calling them team members, but you can call them whatever you want, like Jamie's team, or Jamie's guys, and but boom, right? So the platform is prime, and it's in my opinion the easiest so far to use. I don't like it's owned by China. I don't like that, but
it's using it to brainwash us,
I don't like that part of it. I just wish that our social platforms like Twitter and all those would just go that way. It's like they have the capability. They just choose not to. And that's why you don't see a lot of interaction, because people don't see everything. If you go on Facebook and go live, what do we say, Jamie? Like, we figured out it was like 2% of our audience sees our posts.
Right.
That's how messed up Facebook.
Yep. We've seen
that.
And
you get often, and we started post Facebook, so we don't really do much there, but on Instagram, we'll get in like, not really timeout, but we'll get like the big slowdown a lot, actually, for extended period of time.
Yeah, we're in it right now. Happens all the time. We have a guy who manages our Instagram for us, Chris McGee. He's amazing at it. He's just so good at community with the people. So the people send a picture, him and them talk, the picture goes up. It's a great community the way he does it. So we let him do it. We pay him to do it. He said, just do it. You're too good at it. It's too much work for me. But anyway, there'll be times where we get 5,000 new subs, within a month. And we're down to probably 100 right now. It's so slow. It just goes back and forth. There'll be a time where he'll get thousands, and next time he'll get hundreds. And, I think there's spam issues, not spam, sorry. I think it's like this Twitter thing going on with Elon Musk with their fake accounts. I think you're seeing a lot of fake accounts on Instagram. And if you look at your up and down, I think that's the problem. We'll go up like 300, but they'll pull out 200 that are fake. Not from the new ones, but from ones that they're finding finally, that are fake.
That's what we keep having. We'll grow a bunch in a short period of time. And then all of a sudden you'll see it shrink, like a couple hundred people are just gone out. And it drives me crazy.
I think that's the problem. I think that they're trying to clean up their spam accounts and the fake accounts. And it's not easy, because I think there's a lot of them. That's the problem. Like multi-millions.
Yeah, because Facebook's been doing that for years. We've been stuck at like 130 for 10 years?
I don't even know. It doesn't even make sense. It's not even logical. But then I start thinking, like, I kind of don't want to use Facebook for anything anymore besides family stuff. I really kind of want to go backwards on it. Like, if I could get out of Facebook with BHP, I would just leave it. But it's just hard. You don't want to alienate people there. There's some people that do follow us that only use Facebook.
Well, like you said, there's all these little communities. And they're all a lot of times very different people on different platforms that you want to stay engaged with, because the whole idea, and we feel this way too, is we're doing this just to have different buddies out there, communities in different areas, and share what we love to do and all that. And so, like, to cut one off is always like,
Yeah.
Oh,
No, I agree. You don't know
Yeah.
what's going to happen. And so what we did is to protect ourselves, we decided to migrate a little bit to Carbon TV. And so we made a deal with Carbon that we would be one of their exclusive podcasts, video podcasts.
Mhm.
And we did that because our YouTube video views for the podcast weren't that great. They're like 150 to 300 per video. And this is an hour video, you know?
Yeah.
And we thought this doesn't make sense because if I go on like Carbon, I'm getting like 1,000 to 2,000 per video, right? The same video. So we decided, we talked to them and said, look, if we were to go exclusive on the video portion, like, so not the audio, forget the audio. It doesn't do that great anyway. It is what it is, right? Let's leave the audio alone. Those people, I don't want to take it away from, like they listen to it on their car. But if I take the YouTube and I only put a 5-minute segment just to kind of, get people to go to Carbon, and then I link the Carbon, the full video, we're seeing 20,000 views per video right now on there, per
Really?
podcast, per episode of
For
podcast.
an episode of your podcast.
Because that's because what they did is we became exclusive, which means they moved us from just a normal show to like the front page.
Right.
So now we get, every time you turn on Carbon, we're in the top 6 right in the front, right in your face. So it's huge. It's been a huge win for us. It's over 1 million views this year alone. I mean, it's unbelievable. So that we're definitely not changing anything with that come next year. Our biggest thing now is just, lining up the rest of the show, like you guys are doing, like everybody does. You go in and line up and, get these people lined in. So the good news for us is we'll pre-record because of our relationships in the industry with the bow manufacturers. We already talked to Hoyt, we already talked to Bowtech, we already talked to Elite about pre-shows, meaning we record the episode of their new launches and then launch it the day they launch. So
Yeah,
we'll
so
be
you got
ahead,
something
we'll have
instantly
something.
up.
Boom.
Yep.
So that's cool. We sign NDAs with them and then we just kind of start early. And I just talked to Bowtech about it the other day because I said, listen, can we do it like next week? So that way I have plenty of time to edit it awesome. You can send me some of your pre-edit videos. We can actually put it over the top, look kind of cool. So that's been the fun part. And also, knowing what some of the stuff is coming. I do know what some things are coming, which is really exciting. Jamie doesn't even know. And I it's really cool.
If you could break one NDA, can you like just one of them? There's so many.
I'd be done so fast. I couldn't afford the lawsuit.
Yeah, don't tell them about the 450 feet per second compound.
Yeah, this Matthews is coming out with a Carbon bow, so
Matthews,
watch for that. Yeah.
Oh dang!
Like I would know any of that. That's cool. So yeah, you guys have interest. Like I said, you're thinking always trying to stay ahead and use all the channels that are out there. Where are you, like what's coming next? And you mentioned TikTok and Reels. Like what are other ways people are going to be consuming outdoor media? Because essentially that's what you're looking to try to find, right?
Yeah, that's a great question. I mean, for my thought on it would be, well, my thought was Twitter. I thought with Elon bought it, I was thinking for sure I was getting our page ready to go. I've been trying to, get ahead of that.
He's not going to buy it, and is not. Where is he at?
I don't know.
You're Elon.
I think he's
Musk
not going to buy it till they figure out the true number of bots.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They say 5, and I guess I heard it's like half.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
well, I think if he bought it and it went the way that, if everybody knew he owned it, I think what would happen is you'd see an influx of usage on Twitter. So I that's why I was trying to prepare our page. I started reposting to it more and getting it engaged because I thought once this happens, it's going to change everything. Once the rules change on Twitter, where we're not, gray listed or whatever the word is, right? Because we're hunting or outdoors, and we get this all the time. This happens all the time for us, and we're not even like we don't even like actually show hunting videos most of the time. So that's what's stupid about ours. It doesn't even make sense.
Your name has Hunter in it. You can't.
That's it. Yeah, just because of the name, and that's why I think it's so. Well, stereotyping, obviously, but I just can't stand the fact.
That's not even the gun thing. We were trying to work with a knife company, and they shadow banned us for.
Like we hit hard.
Anytime
we were crushing it until that happened.
No, especially though, I did some stories of our handgun. Like I got a 10mm Glock 20 for bear protection, right? I'm not like I love guns. Second Amendment, great, obviously. But I'm not like a guy who's got 1,000 guns in his basement. Like I have a couple hunting rifles, and like I'm showing one that I'm getting for bear hunting, and it was like instant, like everything was like slowed down, way down.
That's ridiculous, but whatever. Yeah, that's what happens. I have the same gun, by the way, but yes, that is what happened.
It's a sweet gun, dude. I'm
a
not
gun.
great with it, but I love it.
Yeah, I was gonna try to hunt with it like a deer, but
Yeah.
I'm just not accurate with it, so I can't do it. I changed my mind. I'm just gonna keep it for the bear protection.
Yeah, it's definitely gonna. Hopefully, I don't need it for that. But I actually,
Yeah.
for bear protection, I got a bear fence. Did
Oh,
did
yeah,
I
you
tell
did-
you that?
you
I
did
got a
tell
bear
me that, yeah.
fence. Yeah, my we'll be camping in grizzly country, and then we'll be in Alaska. And they'll be
Yeah.
kind
So what's your trip? What's this trip you're talking about coming up?
this is in 8 days.
Mm.
Wow.
I am going to be traveling to Alaska, driving the Dalton Highway for that caribou hunt where you bow hunt on, 5 miles on either side of the road. So I'm taking my wife, my daughter, and my younger brother. And so
Wow.
we're gonna hang
Nice.
down south for a while and go to Kenai, like do a bunch of stuff. We're gonna take a boat along the fjords and look for whales and do all that stuff. Camp down there. That's partly where I want to have the bear fence for. And actually, it was my wife really said she'd feel more comfortable that way. So I did it, and hopefully we don't need to use it. But yeah, we'll cruise all the way up to Prudhoe Bay, hunting caribou the whole way up. We'll take a little tour, put our feet in the Arctic Ocean. That's a family goal of ours. And then we'll drive
Cool.
down and hunt some more on the way back. So it's about 6 days of dedicated caribou hunting, which will be fun.
That's so cool.
Nice. That sounds
What
awesome.
boat? What's your boat stub looking like? You're taking?
Yeah, so I'm shooting the prime inline. And so when I was looking at what like length, so there's 1, 3, 5.
Yeah.
Typically, I think 3 is 33
Yeah.
inches. 1 is 31, 5 is 35. I'm usually like a 35-inch axle to axle. I like that stability, but I'm like, hey, this is prior to thinking, like, I just wasn't thinking about Alaska and the long shots that I'll probably have to take. So I decided to go with a 1. Like, man, it's short. It's going to be perfect for whitetail and some of the stuff I plan on doing for deer here. So I was a little nervous going in that it was too short and it wouldn't be as stable or wouldn't shoot so well. But like, I've been shooting great. Like, this is my favorite setup I've ever had. Prime inline. I've got the red line gear on top,
Mhm.
vector arrows, and I guess that's really it. And it's been shooting awesome. So I feel
That's great.
confident going in.
Good.
We'll
That's
see.
key.
After
You gotta be
confidence is
confident.
big. You can't go in with trepidation.
No.
So we'll see.
That red line stuff's pretty cool, man. I got to talk to them at that Total Archery Challenge, and I was impressed. They had a lot of nice stuff at that table.
Yeah, I've been loving it. I think it's the RL2 because I like I don't need it so far out on a whatchamacallit bar. Dovetail, thank you. And I like a 1 pin, so that was kind of the one that was there for that. So
Yeah, they're associated with that I think it's Trophy Line.
yeah,
I think.
Yep.
Yeah, they're associated with them. I don't know if they're the same owners or whatever.
Yep.
But yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, no, good guys for sure. So anyways, yeah, getting ready for that. What was I was gonna turn that into a question for you. You turned that on me, like the
host
podcast.
host.
You are. I was trying to ask you questions, man.
Hey,
that's good.
podcast host, Steve. I know how this goes.
Like
I can flip it.
jiu-jitsu. Stuff. Well, I know. So I asked you, like, where are things going? You're mentioning Twitter and being shadow banned for that. Now we're back on track for showing a handgun. What else? Like, one thing that we've been talking about, like 360-degree cameras, right? Like, is with VR headsets. Is that something you're looking at, or like where else? How is this going to change?
I'd say no to that question because that came out a while ago, and there was some play with it. And I think the problem with that one is people don't like clicking on a screen to move things around. Not saying it won't work or it wouldn't be a cool video. I just don't think it would do as good as people would hope it would do. It's awesome. The idea is awesome, right? I mean, if you think about it, but I just don't. We tried it a few times. We didn't get the response we thought we would, so we kind of scratched that, especially for the pricing. I mean, those cameras weren't really cheap, and they're hard to use, and I don't know. Yeah, stitch things together. It wasn't really. I was like, this is not.
So work. we got that GoPro 360. Not terribly expensive, good. We needed a GoPro for stuff, anyways. And the 360 video didn't perform terribly well. Like, didn't really do anything, but when we edited it and like put like you can kind of spin the camera around as it's going on the app, that did well.
Yeah.
And so we're just we're playing around with that a little bit, even for like reels and stuff. It's fun. So
Yeah, that's cool. It'd be cool. Like I said, some of these things are like so cool to use, like in setup scenarios where you're setting things up for a photo shoot or video shoot, like drones, right? You can't use a drone while you're hunting.
It's like a
you know?
camera. Yeah.
It's fun, but like what Jamie and I would do in our team is we do like photo shoots. Like for instance, we do photography and mini videos for Breton Arms. We do their stuff. They're a Michigan-based company. You guys might have heard of them, but they're out of Lansing. Yeah. Anyway, so we did a photo shoot, video shoot with them. 2 months ago, no boom, maybe.
Yeah, in spring.
So we have to do another one coming up. So we do like 3 per year or something like that. So the next one, what we do is we go out there and we'll have drones and smoke bombs, and I mean, it'll be like crazy, but it's a lot of fun. Like you make a day out of it. But my point is, there's a lot involved in that. So like when we do any sort of massive shooting system, like we did the long distance shot, we were trying to call it the 400, but he couldn't hit the 400, so we ended up doing, what was it, Noble 356 or something?
325 or something like
that. So
he
hit the balloon at 325, but he hit the target at 356. Nice. So we were, anyway, we had to go, Jamie's dad has a miniature airport in his backyard, thank God, to do this. Nice. So he has like a grass runway, piece of land that's 750 yards, I think, the runway, or 800.
Ways, yeah.
And so we had to go out there and set it up. It took a day to set up, right? We're out there drinking, like driving around, trying to like put these huge targets. So you have to measure everything out. I mean, it took so long just to set it up. And then the guy who comes to shoot comes the next day and then takes the shots, and we got to film everything. It's just so hard. But at the end, you get really a cool masterpiece, but sometimes it does good, and sometimes it don't do as good as you hoped, and you just put a lot of time and energy. But I use a lot of those videos like constantly, just trying to reignite them, and sometimes with these shorts and all this stuff, it's helped a little bit. I mean, view-wise, it always keeps going up, but it's a lot of work, right? So that kind of stuff, 3D, 360 would be ideal in a hunting scenario setup. When I say that, like a good example would be black bear hunting. When we went black bear hunting, I don't know what we had, no boom. I had like 5 GoPros in the circle.
I had like 7 because I was hunting by myself the last 2 days.
Yeah, all solo filming. We all film solo all the time, so we would set up these cameras all on trees around the bait area. And this has been the biggest issue with Michigan and no baiting, is it's really hard to film without a cameraman, because now you're filming a moving animal. There's really no stopping or ways to lock in. This was easier back then, because you could at least do minerals if you didn't do bait, or do something to stop the deer on the cameras. But now it's not like that. So, and that's okay. Some people rather hunt this way. It's fine. Just a little bit harder. It's harder to film like that.
Right. That's interesting. So you guys have come a long ways. I mean, you've changed quite a bit since the first video on your first tree stand to now you're on TikTok doing dances, in scantily clad outfits and whatever else. Where are you guys headed? What's your vision? Like, where are you headed? Where are you going?
I think Jamie, I know Jamie and I really want to get more into the hunts. Like, I really want to focus on like an elk hunt, or Jamie's been talking about a moose hunt, and back to do bear hunting again. We haven't done black bear in about 5 years. Fun. So, and that was a good time. So I think our goal was to get back to bear hunting like 2 years ago, but the COVID messed it all up, because obviously you couldn't cross the border, and it really, because black bear hunting is easy. It's about $1,000 a guy. It's about 14 hours from here. It's not terrible. You know what I mean? It's like doable as a group. Yeah. It's easy and fun. But elk hunting is like 10 grand. You know what I mean? It's a huge difference. So it's not the most simple stuff to work on, but I think that's what we like to get a little bit to. I think we got down what we want to do. So we have our podcast that's doing great. We have the test lab. It still holds true today from 2009. And we have a community. That's all we really can do at this point. We just continue to provide content to those things. And to be honest with you guys, for me, it's become a relationship thing. I really enjoy working with the companies in the industry. If I didn't have them working with us, I'm not sure I'd keep doing it, to be honest. It's just so nice to work with companies who call you and say, hey, I got this idea. Do you think maybe you guys could try it and just see what happens? And it's just fun to get a call like that from a bow manufacturer, right? I mean, think about it. Like your whole life of bow hunting, like my whole life, I used to go to a pro shop. I look up, see Martin, Hoyt, Darton, all these brands, and like, wow, these are so cool. And now these companies call me. It's just so weird. It's just it's like surreal in a way. So, and it's not about the money. That's my point. It's never been. It's always been this concept that I can actually touch my hobby. You know, like I can change something in my hobby that I did. You know, like for instance, the demon, that was my name. I came up with that. I was like, you guys should call it the demon. It's so small and fast, and they called it the demon. It was awesome, right? It's just that moment of saying I actually put my finger on something that I was able to do that, and you know, having their ear. And now I'm not talking about just them. Like I talked to Matthews, Bowtech, Elite, you know what I mean, Prime. So like it's just nice having their ear to like say, hey, you know, you ever think about trying this or this because your bow does this, you know. So that's the cool part.
Yeah, that's not a lot of people can say they have that kind of influence, and I guess that's what it is. That's exciting. So you guys, Jamie, I got to ask, where are you looking at moose hunting?
Oh, we've talked about a lot of things. My old man was talking about, I think, Newfoundland.
Yeah,
but it's such a long drive, and you know the freezer. You get basically put a freezer on.
You got to take a boat across. Yeah, so you
Yeah.
drive, and then there's like a 7-hour boat ride, right?
So, I mean, I had something like that. I'd like to go to Alaska and do it, but that's just me.
That's there's a lot of like legwork to make that Alaska trip.
Right.
I would imagine with a moose, getting them back, being able to get there and knowing what a legal moose looks like.
Yeah.
You know, that's pretty cool. So you guys, so Jamie, you got you're in Michigan too, right?
Yep.
You
we
guys
all live pretty close to each other.
All right, east side of the state, representing the state well.
Yep.
We're west side, so you know,
okay. No
beef, but like that's the best. You know,
yeah.
I mean, you have to say it. You guys suck, but whatever.
I was born on the west side.
Jamie's a West Sider.
Hastings.
Jamie's a West Sider, boys.
Knew a girl from Hastings once.
Oh,
People say that a lot.
I'm sure I know who it is.
Can't say much more than that. That's really cool. Well, so for we're coming up on time here, but for guys that are hoping or gals, I always say guys, and I'm sorry, we're an inclusive podcast. We're officially inclusive. For anybody who wants to listen, go ahead. We're not going to stop you. For anybody who is listening, any person listening, how can they get a hold of you guys? Follow what you're doing. Where do they find you guys?
Very simple. Bowhunterplanet.com. All the links. Everything's there for Carbon TV, for YouTube, for TikTok, Instagram, you name it, guys. So check it out. Love to have you guys, come in, see some of the videos, and hopefully it helps you guys. Some of the stuff you can learn. I mean, we try our best to do educational type stuff that's small but fast, and try not to overdo it, and bore people. That's the goal.
I've definitely watched a lot of your videos, so you guys keep it up. It's making everybody better for sure.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.
All right, guys. We'll talk to you soon. Thanks.